𝐕𝐃𝐄 and welcome to my YouTube channel Kiwi Bushcraft and Survival, and today we're going to do the Danchel outdoor titanium wood stove setup. Okay, now the first thing that you have to do that I would suggest is that you do your chimney. Now I've already done my chimney. I'll just grab it here. Okay, so I've already done my chimney by rolling it up. Okay, and basically the instructions say that you should use 2 people, and I would advise that you do use 2 people. I did it by myself just because I wanted to test it to see how it goes by myself, and it is quite difficult. Couple of learning lessons that I learned from it. First thing you have to do is you have to take away the memory. So you got to unroll it and roll it back the other way. And I'll do a quick clip of that, me doing that, so you can see what I mean. And then the second thing is, some people say to use, I think it's called a doodle. It's like a floaty, right? A long floaty. You'll see me using that when I'm doing changing the memory on the titanium chimney. Some people say to use that, and I tried that, and it kind of works, but it's very tight. It's a very tight fit, and once you start getting going, even when it comes to taking the dongle out, that sponge, floaty sponge thing, it's very hard to get it out. You can't get the sponge out. You gotta basically remove the rings to take the pressure off it to pull it out. So I wouldn't advise that. I would simply advise, as per the instructions, use 2 people, roll it up and put the rings on together. That would be the fastest, most easiest and simplest way. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to piece all this together with the camera on, so you can see the full setup, and then I'm going to get in a first burn. Okay, I think that's about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it here, bring in the where I'm changing the memory on the chimney, and then I'll bring you back and we'll carry on with the setup outside. There was one other thing I'm just trying to think of. What I was going to say is that this is the thing that I was talking about for helping to use it, roll it up. I would use this definitely for taking the memory, changing the memory when you first go to roll out the chimney. Okay, and then after that I probably wouldn't use it. I'd probably chuck it away. Alright, well, you may want to use it to start using it to roll it up the chimney lengthwise when you are with another person, but you want to pull it out as soon as you can. You don't want to start rolling it up and putting rings on it. That's when you're going to have an issue. So the other thing is, when you set this up, you want to try and set it up on a day that's not too windy, okay, or no wind at all preferably. And also you want to have some kind of water source just for safety reasons. You know, makes perfect sense. The other thing that you want to do is you want to have some cordage. Okay, now I'm going to be using at this stage I'm going to be trying out 5 meters, 3 lengths of 5 meter cord, and that's going to be to hold the chimney in place. Okay, attaching the cordage to the spark arrestor. Okay, because you're going to need something to keep that chimney in place. Okay, so the whole thing doesn't fall over. All right, and the other thing you're going to need is some pegs. Okay, all right, so I've got about 9 pegs here. You're not going to need that many. All right, and that's basically 3 pegs to keep the chimney in line, keep it secure. And if you wanted to, use another 4 pegs. I'm not sure if these are going to be too big, but use 4 pegs to hold the stove in place, okay? And I'll try and remember to zoom in on that when I put these in the legs. I think the legs should have some holes. I can't remember, I didn't check it during the unboxing. But if it does, that would be great, and if it doesn't, we'll just modify it to cater for the pegs to hold the stove in place as well. And that's just again for wind, dogs. I got 3 dogs on the property, so you may see them running around. And when you're doing all this, safety again, make sure you're monitoring it. Don't just leave the stove unattended and burning. So bring some music out, a couple of drinks, whatever, and do it on a nice day, preferably where you can just enjoy it. Okay, so anyway, no further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to bring the camera down. First I'm going to pause it so that you guys can see the other, doing the memory for the chimney, and then we'll get into this side of it. Alright, let's get into this. Okay, so you're supposed to have 2 people when you do this, but I'm going to attempt to do it by myself. First and foremost, and I've got one of these little tube things, whatever that people use for swimming, kids use for swimming and whatnot, and hopefully that might help me. Now, these gloves that I've got on, I'm not 100% sure whether they are cut-proof gloves or just, you know, standard gloves, but I'd advise using them because this titanium sheeting can be very sharp. Now the key with this is that these here titanium, it's very thin and it can bend very easily. So the key here is, if you want your chimney to look nice and without all these bends and dents in it, you really want to look after it and do the best you can to try and fold this up nicely. And look after your chimney, don't go banging it and everything else. So we want to take off our 8 rings, set those to the side. Not quite sure which side, I'll set them to the left for now. Alright, it's the first time for me, so we'll see how we go. So the next thing we want to do is we want to roll this out. Okay, remember this is 2.2 meters long. Now, what we want to do is, you'll see that it takes memory, okay? So it's wanting to roll back to how it was. So the first thing we want to do is we want to change the memory of it. So we want to flick it over and we want to roll it the other way, if that makes sense. Alright, so what I'm going to do, because I don't want creases in mine, if I can help it, so take your tube and roll it the other way. Okay? See, this is all in shot. Okay, so what this will effectively do is it will change the memory of the titanium sheet. Okay, that's going to be our chimney. And now we can let it go. Alright. And that should roll out. That was my big boy Zilla. He's my main dog. He's my main boy. Right, so we take the lid off, face it this way, bring the front up, bring the back up. We can close the door now if we like, no problem. Bring the side door up. Make sure you want to put the clips on properly. This is Siska. He's the puppy on the property. Okay, I don't have a floor in it yet, okay? That's something I'm considering putting in there as a floor. But today I'm just going to burn it as is. Do the first burn as is. And I have an idea, but I should have really brought my idea out, but I might show that in another video. Okay, so that's all on there. Okay, now pegs. Alright, so it does have the holes for the pegs, but mine doesn't fit in, okay? So mine's too big, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some pegs down here. Just one there. I don't think I need to do 4. And another one on the other side. Just to hold it in place, just for safety reasons. Next thing I'm going to do is put the dampener on. So I showed you how to do that in the setup, the unboxing video. Right, twist that clockwise direction. We'll keep this just on here for now. I'm going to just quickly whip out a frame and grab the actually no, what I'm going to do is the cords. I've got 3 5-meter, no thank you Siska, no, cords, okay, 5 meters, and what I've done, I've just put a loop at each end, okay, and what I'm going to do, Siska, no, he wants to bite my cord, with the tie downs here, just slip it through, okay, slip it through the tie down, and then feed the cord back through on itself. All right. I don't know if you can see that. I'm standing on the cord. Just feed it through on itself. Okay, like so. Some people call it a lark's head. Alright, I've always called it a goose foot, but yeah, I think most people call it a lark's head, just onto that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 of those. Grab the other cordage. Do the other one. Again, slip it through on itself and just simply pull the rest of the line through. Okay, so we've got 2 now. Alright, 2. Okay, and what I'm going to do is off camera, I'm going to go and cut the other piece. In fact, I'll do it on, I'll do the first part on camera. How about that? Okay. So, what you want to do is you get 1. I go like 1. Record. Okay, 1. 2. 'A bit tangled up here. Might have to start again. Should be enough there. Let's do that again. Okay, so you get to the end of the cord. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Make a loop there and cut it. I always burn the ends. Got a little bit of wind today. Not much. Alright. We'll go to the other end. We'll do a little bit of a loop here. Normally I wouldn't be doing this type of thing with gloves on. What I like when I do this, I like the so I just do an overhand knot like so. Alright, just an overhand knot, nothing major. Doesn't have to be anything major. And then I normally have around about three fingers. Okay, at least 3 fingers be able to fit through there comfortably is ample. Okay, and that's all we need to do. Then we'll fit this one on. Alright, slide it through. Hit the loose end. Pull the loose end through. Okay, so I'm working on 5 meters. Hopefully that's going to be long enough to be able to tie it down. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to attach this spark arrestor to the top of the chimney. So I'm going to go and grab that. Alright, so now we want to hook this up. And the whole time you're doing this, you want to try not to be causing anything that's going to put dents in your in your chimney. Okay, so there we go, that's on. And it's got a couple of little seat things here where it sits on the top, so it doesn't go all the way down. Okay, it'll just go down and it won't go any further. Okay, next thing we want to do is we want to put this onto over the outside of our dampener. Okay, so let's just put let's just put this on first. Okay, I just want to loosen that off as well, as far as we can. Right, bring this up. Okay, you want to make sure that our chimney is on properly. And what I mean by on properly, we want the how can I say, the line of the chimney okay, that should be good there. Right, okay, so that doesn't have to be too tight. I don't want to do anything too tight just yet. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, okay, you'll notice it's not very stable, and that's because it's not up through, normally a hot tent or something like that would be holding it about, you know, whatever height around where my hand is, and that would give it a little bit more stability, but currently we don't have that. So this is where the tie downs come in, okay, and we're going to have to tie it down. So we need 3 pegs for this. It's 2. Now when you do this, it doesn't have to be tight, okay? It doesn't have to be really tight. In fact, you don't want it to be really tight. You just want it to be where the wind's not going to blow it over, okay? Alright, so that's firm now. Okay, so that's quite firm now. That's not going to go anywhere. Alright, so there's the chimney. Alright, there's the stove. Okay, and I can zoom it around to where you can see, you know, there's one of the pegs there. Okay, and the other peg is down there. Okay, so I've just tied it to the peg, nothing major. Alright, and of course the third one is where are we? It's amongst all that cordage there. Alright, but there she is. Okay, now as far as the pegs are concerned, you can see I've got a peg there. Alright, because my pegs didn't quite fit through the hole in the legs. Alright, and there's another one. You can just see it at the back there, sticking through as well. Alright. Okay. Let's get this fire going. Now that she's all set up. Oh, and of course we have the locking device there that's holding the chimney down, and you can see the chimney is clearly over the top, alright, of the dampener. Alright, and of course that screw there is not in the way of the actual dampening control, the triangle dampening control. Okay, alright, so now when we fire it up, when we do our first burn, we're going to want this triangle facing straight up and down. Alright, so we want to want that triangle facing straight up and down, because that's going to allow the air to go straight up the chimney. Okay, and when you turn it to the left or to the right, so it's in a horizontal position, when it's in a horizontal position it'll be completely dampening down the fire as much as it possibly can. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I think we'll bring this camera around to the side a bit. Now I'm not going to be doing any bushcrafty stuff as far as the fire goes. I'm just going to get it in there and get it basically going. So let's do that now. Oh, gotta take this out. Had a bit of polystyrene or polythene, whatever you want to call it, in there. Alright, I've just got some cardboard here from, this is cardboard that the dogs were chewing up. This is actually the box that this actually came in. So I thought I might as well make the most of it and utilise it for the burn. Alright. You notice I've still got my gloves on, because I don't want to be making any fingerprint marks on the titanium. I haven't wiped it down, so I'm hoping that when it's come from the factory or wherever it was where it was made, that people haven't put their hands over it, but we'll soon find out. And when I've seen other people do their burns, and I've seen fingerprints on it, I think it's those were fingerprints from the actual people themselves touching the titanium with their bare hands. It's not the smallest of kindling that I've got here, but and I'm just chucking it in. Go for it. Alright, have I got any more Alright, let me turn this camera so I can kind of see what we're doing to make sure we're in shot there. Okay, somewhat in shot. Okay. Little tip secret, well not a secret but little tip. If you're going to use cardboard, try and use the thinnest layers of cardboard that you can. Excuse me, Siska. Come on, excuse me. Good boy. Good boy. You wanna be famous, do you? Hey, you wanna be famous? Ah, you're a very inquisitive dog, eh? Yeah, you're very inquisitive. This cardboard pretty much acts like a softwood, a real softwood. Alright, let's see how that goes. Okay. Alright, the moment of truth. Okay, so what I've done is I've got the dampener open right at the back. Now let me pull you back a bit. Okay, so I've got the dampener open right at the back, okay, as I said earlier, right, and I've got the vent, the front vent here, open right up as well, okay, because what we effectively want to do, this is open, see, okay, close it, open it, okay, so I want it open right up because we want the fire to suck in as much oxygen as possible, and so it can really breathe and really burn hot, okay. And of course we want the dampener, we don't want to dampen the fire down, we want it fully, the exhaust going straight up, okay, up the chimney. So we want that fully open, so it's completely vertical at the moment and fully open. Alright, so that's where we're at the moment. And of course, as you want the fire to die down or slow down and not be so hot, you'd not give it as much oxygen, and you turn the dampener down. That's how you control the wood stove. Alright. So, oh, Siska's finding out that this is hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it with wood as we go. Alright, so that's about there. That's about there. So that's the amount, the kind of wood that we're after. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6. So I've got my axe marked. So what I should do is do a double mark there at some point to show that. I don't want wood to go any further than that to be able to fit into the wood stove better. Doesn't want to quite go in. Put that there. So I haven't started with a lot of kindling with this. I've just grabbed some wood from out the back of the house here that I'm just using. But she's going in there. It's got to be able to take off a bit. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll leave it there for now. I'll keep an eye on it till she's blazing, and then I'll come back and fire it on there so you can see how she's going. And we'll go from there. But I'll zoom it in for you. You can see the just on the side window there, it's blacking up a little bit, but that fire won't take too long to kick off. And from the top, I'll show you the smoke coming out. There's the smoke coming out, the dampener. Oh, sorry, not the dampener, the spark arrestor. Get a good clean shot of that, see how close we can get in there, so you can see how well that's working. She's a nice spark arrestor, very happy. Okay, and you can see the tie downs, there's 2 on the side and 1 on the other that are holding it in place. Highly advise that you do this. I mean, it doesn't take long to you know, tie it down. Safety wise, it doesn't hurt, but the key is not to tie it down tight. You need to give it room to move around. Okay, anyway, we'll leave her at that for now, and I'll pause it, and I'll bring you back. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna get some other bits of firewood ready, cut some other bits of firewood up for it, and listen to a little bit of music, and just let it burn. I might set my time stopwatch as well. I think probably not a bad idea. Right, so the stopwatch is on, and I hope you're enjoying the fire. Alright, just thought I'd bring you back. It's just gone after the 10-minute mark, just going on 11 minutes now since I started my stopwatch, and you can see the flames are really being drawn up towards that chimney. Okay, because I've been using the wrong word, I think. I was just about to say it. The flue, right? The flue is fully open, not the dampener. I don't know. Okay, my camcorder kind of died on me, so I'm doing this on my phone now. So hopefully it comes up okay. We're at the 1 hour, 1.5 hour mark. So there she is there. She's wide open. So that would be, I assume, the dampener. Okay, is wide open. Alright. And she's ablazing. You can see the flames heading from the front, going up to the back, going straight up the chimney. And the flue is still wide open. Okay. There's different colours on the back. Alright, from the heating. Same as on the top there. You can see plenty of heat has come through there, the purple colours. Alright, not so much on this side, sort of down the bottom where there's like the heat comes through. Alright, you can see it coming through there. And also on the chimney, down more to the low part of the chimney, it's going well. Okay, more on the chimney there. Alright, the thing that the piece here, this piece here, that the ring that holds the chimney on, I'm probably going, next time I'm going to move it so it's like up along this side, kind of more out of the way. Coming up the chimney, you can still see changings of colour. Alright, and right at the top of the chimney, not sure if you'll be able to see it. Try and zoom in, you can see it's darkening up there as well. So it does get a bit of heat, which is pretty cool, because that's kind of looking for another project that I might be looking at, knowing that the heat is still fairly good up there. The tie downs, okay, as we come down the tie down, I'll give you a closer look at the tie down. Okay, so there's the tie down there with the peg and the grass. Right, pretty simple. And we've got 3 of those tie downs. Another one there. I haven't pushed the pegs. Like right into the ground or anything, but you know, I just wrapped them around and did a quick slip knot on them, just to, you know, so they'd be you know, give some sort of security, safety with the fire, because I have had the dogs. There's Zilla. I've had the dogs running around, and Siska there. It's Zilla's the dad, and Siska's the son. Right, and the female the females around here is the mother, named Nala. But yeah, no, she's going really, really well. But the getting back to the safety, the dogs were running around, and they banged into the cords, right? One of the tie downs, right? I think it was that one over there, this tie down here. So still had the other tie downs there, but you know, they were running around. They could have banged into the you know, the wood stove, and that would have been not a good thing. Okay, of course I've got the other peg down there at the back, and I have another peg just down there, right at the front. Now it does have, as I was saying earlier, they do have peg holes. Right, there's a peg hole right there, okay, and another one right there, and there's another. It's the same on the front of the wood burner, wood stove as well. But as I said earlier, my pegs were a little bit too big, just slightly. So I could get some smaller pegs, and they don't need to be anything major. And I do have some smaller pegs, so I will get 4 pegs, and I'll peg that into the ground. And it's not a bad idea, you know. I mean, it's got those holes there for a reason, to make the stove more stable, you know, for safety reasons. Just so that if you were to bump it, or you know, you take your dog out and the dog's playing around or whatever and bumps it or whatever it may be, you don't want it falling over and becoming a hazard. Also, the other thing with pegging it out is, because I have one of the roll-out chimneys, they're very easy to bend, okay, and dent. So it's really important to take care of them and protect them so that they're not going to be damaged, okay? So when they're up like this, it's paramount that they're protected from being damaged. All right. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now, and we might come back soon and have another look at it, see how it's going. I've got a couple of large logs there. All right, one there and another 2 over there, and I've been trying to fit them in, and I could almost fit that one there, and that's in the shot now, almost fit it in, but it had like about, I don't know, half a centimetre just poking out, and it just wouldn't allow me to close the door, so I didn't want to force anything. So I thought I'll let it like burn down a bit more. What you want to do is get a good base of coals, or a good bed of coals, and then start chucking on these big ones, and it should burn for a good, I don't know, at full bore, you know, with the dampener open and the flue ride open. I don't know, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. I might time it and see how it goes if I can fit one in. All right, we'll leave it there for now, and we'll come back shortly. Okay, so I've just chucked in a big log. All right, just there, you can just see it. All right. And what I've been doing is I've been pushing a lot of the wood all the way to the back of the of the stove. All right. And what I'm going to show you is a little something here, a little tip that I do. I don't know if you can see it, but on the front here I have what's called a bellow, okay, and it stretches out. I don't know if I'm in shot because I haven't flicked the camera around. Alright, so I'm extending the bellow out now, and really all it is a tube that you can blow through. Alright, watch this. Look at that. Look at that. Great thing is, look at that now. Doesn't take much. Yep, I got one of the dogs trying to lick me in the face. The puppy. Alright. The old bellow is great because you can close the door and do this. And if it starts a thing, you don't have to open the door up so much. You just use the bellow, point it straight through and let rip. Just thought I'd show you that. So now what I'm going to do, because I got it on full bore, right, dampener's wide open, I'm going to time it to see how long that takes to burn that down. It is starting to get dark, well, kind of, here around here, right, and just to get an idea of how long that log will burn down on full bore. I'll catch you short. I couldn't help myself. I had to get a photo of this, well, a bit of video of this with me. My boy Zilla, he's found himself the perfect spot, right? Doesn't take much to know what a good thing is, and it surely is. Hey Zilla. Zilla, you liking that, eh? You like that, hey boy? Alright, here's an update. We're at about 2 hours and 40 minutes burn time, which is basically more than enough. However, the problem was, I say this big log's been burning now for about an hour. Although it did slow down, I wasn't able to keep it at full capacity. So, and it's about probably half burnt, half to 3/4, well, half to, close to half burnt. Okay. And the reason why I wasn't able to keep the fire going at full capacity is because my dogs ended up play fighting when it was dark, banging into one of my tie down cords, okay, and knocking the whole chimney over. Right? Yep, bent the whole thing. So I've spent the last 45 minutes fixing it as best I can. So it's fixed. Luckily the titanium is very strong. It didn't put any holes in it that I'm aware of. So what I did was I took the chimney off. This is after I chased the dogs around the section. I took the chimney off and I unrolled it, okay, and I rolled it up in one direction as if I was packing up, and then I unraveled it and I rolled it back from the other end, rolling it up as if I was packing up. And then what I did was I had to get the hammer pole on my axe and tap it out, tap out any of the creases that were that had happened during the its fall, and that for the most part has fixed it. Okay, so it's rolled back up now again as a chimney, and to tell you the truth, you really wouldn't know. Obviously you'll see where the damage is, I'll show you, but it hasn't changed the performance of the actual chimney. And what I've effectively done, because the damage was done down near the bottom of the chimney, I'll turn my light torch on. So when it bent about as you would assume, guess, around this area, okay, and fell down and hit the ground. So what I've done is I've put the damaged area at the top. Okay, so as we go scroll up here, there's the damage. Okay, so you can see the damage starting about here and up, mostly up the top. All right, so I've basically put it up the top, the damaged area. If we go around the fire to the stove to the other side, all right, you can see where are we? More damage there. So the damage went right round it, but again I put it up the top. So all right, and when I've put it back, I've put this locking ring this way, so it's out of the way. It looks much tidier and out of the way. So it's still performing as it should do. But I put the damaged part up the top to mitigate the integrity at this bottom level here, so it's still strong. So it doesn't hurt it in any way. However, what do I take away from this? Having the tie downs, yeah, absolutely paramount and important for safety reasons when you're doing this, but don't have dogs running around, or I don't have kids running around, but don't have kids running around, and maybe even don't have anyone else around you unless you absolutely trust them that they're not going to trip over the tie downs. Okay, now I've got green. I haven't got, they're not fluorescent coloured and bright colours and things like that, because my stuff's more along the line of tactical. All right, so yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so my advice to anybody would be, sure, absolutely set this up with your tie downs to make sure that it's all safe. You know, especially the wind could come up or anything else, but don't trip over them. Don't have dogs around them. Don't have kids around, and maybe don't even have anybody else around that you're not sure that they may damage it in some way by tripping over it, right? Drunk, whatever, okay? Or just not concentrating, because after all, it is your equipment that you're trying to take care of. I spent a lot of time hours today prepping all this to prevent doing damage to my chimney, and lo and behold, you know, at the 1 hour 45 mark, the dogs go and do the damage. So it is what it is. Thankfully, but the good thing is that I've learnt that look, you can just beat it back into place. All right, the titanium is that strong. It didn't make a hole in it when it dented, and I was just able to beat it back out into its correct, form for the chimney, and back into business. So that's good to know, just how strong it is. So it looks flimsy, but it's very, very strong. So I take that away as well. So a few learning lessons there, and hopefully by sharing the accidents that happen with others, we can all take something away from it and learn from it. So what I'm going to do is, once this log burns down, that's going to be my burn. I think it'll be close to the 3 hours 45, 3.5 hour mark, give or take, and then I'll let it cool down and pack it away in the dark which I wouldn't advise, but you know, hey, can be done. All right. And so I'm going to go and get myself a hot latte, and I've done some more firewood there. All right. But I'm not going to be using it. I've just got those chopped up pieces there, just in case I need to get that fire, the flames going. But of course I have my bellow that I showed you earlier. Absolutely fantastic having the bellow. Can poke through the front vent. All right. Just brilliant. And of course, if you can't get to things through the front vent, you can then open up the door and get right to the back with your bellow, no problem at all. Brilliant. Anyway, I'll leave it there, and I'm not sure if I'll be coming back during the pulling everything down. I don't think that's necessary. You just go backwards from the way that you set it up. And go from there. Yeah, so I'll probably leave it at that, but cheers.